A building intended to exhibit art should be a work of art itself. The Art Gallery of Alberta's sweeping curves meshed with gridwork makes a striking statement in its downtown Edmonton surroundings, while providing a worthy showcase for Alberta's art.
The engineering in this building and the design was done essentially in cyberspace first. And that is absolutely key, because this is not Euclidean geometry. It is geometry that is moving in all directions at the same time. And so that, the ability to design in cyberspace, I think, is one of the things that made this possible. We've had people say that this building could not have been built 15 years ago.
The biggest challenge was the thermal break connections. Because of the big cantilevers and the fact that the steel conducts cold into the building, they had to be thermally broken, separate the outside steel from the inside steel to maintain the museum quality space that the gallery needs. There's actually a break in each of those members that penetrate the building envelope. The vapor barrier and insulation carry through that joint, and there's a material to isolate the exterior steel from the interior steel as part of that joint. Now, some of those cantilevers are quite long, and there was a lot of work to engineer those properly.
A stunning addition to Edmonton's cultural landscape, the Alberta Art Gallery has become an iconic building for the city's artistic identity. It's clearly a worthy candidate for a CISC Alberta Engineering Award. The Bow is bound to become the first great modern and sustainable high-rise in Calgary's architectural story. With its structural skeleton on its exterior, it wears its heart on its sleeve and stretches skyward to claim its rightful place in the Calgary skyline.
One of the innovations of the steel design, which allowed an improvement in the schedule, was the top-down construction of the ground floor. So the ground floor was built on top of 6-story high columns in the parkade. So it allowed them to get to the ground floor much faster and then to proceed out of the ground with the structure.
We had a fantastic team of engineers working on this project, and they were constantly redefining the way in which that steel would function to resist all of the various forces that were at play. One of the things about the building process that we went through was to change the entire character of the structure about midway through the design process, which was a major undertaking and a great feat undertaken by the engineers in order to reconfigure the structural aspects of the building at such a late stage in the game.
Open structure, sustainable functionality, and striking aesthetics all make the Bow a laudable contender for the CISC Alberta Engineering Award. A frequent challenge in renovation is to find new ways to use what's already there. Building on existing structures, the White Mud Drive Quesnel Bridge project incorporates ingenious solutions to renovate a high-traffic corridor to meet increasing demand.
Whenever you try to connect a brand new element to an existing structure, there's always a challenge that results in terms of the construction tolerances to fit the existing element locations are greater than if the entire structure was brand new. Additionally, we have to concern ourselves with the quality of the existing materials. There's different levels of deterioration that exist on the existing bridge, and when you're putting brand new additional elements in connection with the deteriorated elements, you have to make appropriate plans for that in your designs.
Another challenge is keep the bridge open to the traffic during the 2 years construction period, because there are lots of traffic. It's about 120,000 vehicles per day over the bridge.
Because of its reliance on steel's versatility, along with innovative design and planning, the White Mud Drive Quesnel Bridge widening rehabilitation and pier cap extensions is an outstanding candidate for a CISC Alberta Engineering Award.